National Electrical Code Section 314.17c addresses receptacles installed on or over combustible material. The primary requirement is that when a receptacle is installed on or over a combustible material, certain measures must be taken to ensure safety. Specifically, the use of extension rings or faceplates must be of a material that is non-combustible or equivalent. This requirement is designed to prevent the spread of fire in the event of an electrical fault at the receptacle. However, there are exceptions to this rule, providing flexibility in certain situations. Exception number 1 states that attachment to plaster surfaces with exposed wood joists does not require the use of extension rings or faceplates made of or equivalent to non-combustible material. This exception is applicable only for faceplates and extensions with retained screws to prevent rotation or displacement. This exception recognizes that in older construction, plaster surfaces are common and the risk of fire spread may be lower due to the nature of the materials used and the presence of exposed wood joists. The requirement for retained screws ensures that the faceplate or extension ring remains securely in place, preventing any potential hazards from loose or displaced components. Exception number 2 states that receptacles intended to be concealed with the surface to which they are mounted is not exposed to physical damage are permitted to be installed where there is not compliance with the required spacing of 3/8 inch or 9.5 mm. This exception applies to situations where the receptacle is hidden from view and protected from physical damage. In these cases, the strict spacing requirements may be relaxed. The interpretation of these rules is crucial for ensuring compliance with the National Electrical Code. A 4-square extension ring is considered a faceplate. When evaluating whether an extension ring can be mounted over a flush-mounted single-gang receptacle in a wall constructed of combustible material, it is necessary to consider the specific circumstances. If the wall is constructed of combustible material and a receptacle is not intended to be concealed, then an extension ring cannot be mounted over the receptacle unless it meets the non-combustible material requirement. The temporary nature of an installation does not negate the requirements of the National Electrical Code. Even temporary installations must comply with all applicable safety regulations. The use of an extension ring in this scenario would be a violation of the National Electrical Code. This is because the extension ring is being used on a combustible surface and does not meet the requirements for non-combustible materials. Additionally, the receptacle is not intended to be concealed, so exception number 2 does not apply. In summary, mounting a 4-square extension ring over a flush-mounted single-gang receptacle in a wall constructed of combustible material is a violation of National Electrical Code Section 314.17c. The only exceptions are for attachments to plaster surfaces with exposed wood joists with specific faceplate requirements or for receptacles intended to be concealed and not exposed to physical damage where spacing is not compliant. The combustible nature of the wall and the fact that the receptacle is not concealed makes this installation non-compliant.